going to open us with a dumb question. Before Courtney Love tweeted at you, had you ever listened to her? And if so, are you a fan?
Yeah, I have listened a little bit. I am a fan. I like different music. I listen to everything, honestly. But I've been knowing about her since I was at least 5 years old. Kindergarten teacher asked me if I knew who that was. So years after that, I've always been asked, and my ID is always fake because that's my name. But yeah, I mean, I like Courtney Love. She's cool, I think. Excuse me? I don't even know the name. There's one, she like screams a lot, and I can't remember which one. Yeah, so it's good.
Left side, second row.
Christopher Walsh, SEC Country. Just since you've been at Kentucky, how has the atmosphere changed around the football team? And just how has it improved the most?
Definitely, the atmosphere has definitely changed a lot. I think, the goal has always been the same. Goals never have changed. Obviously we want, bigger goals and things like that. But, what I got recruited on was, he was going to come in and, change, the culture of this program, Coach Stoops. And, he's done that. He's done that and more. And, us as players, we have to do our part, and I think we did last year, and we have to continue to do that. We have to continue to get better, continue to, buy into his vision for the program, between our president of the university, Dr. Capilouto, Mitch Barnhart, and Coach Stoops. All three of those guys are 110% behind us no matter what we do, no matter if it's on the field or, in our personal life or in the community. They're always there for us, and, that's something that, players want, and I think Coach Stoops has that, Mr. Barnhart and Mr. Capilouto, all three have that, and I think that's something that's really changed our program, and, it just became a program that is just, well run now. This morning, for instance, we had practice between ourselves. Like, we had individual with the coaches, and then after that, we did a little bit of teamwork and 7-on-7 type things, and coaches can't be around for that, so it has to be player ran. And I would say 2 years ago it was like a jungle. Guys were just, it was a lot of chaos, and guys weren't doing what they were supposed to do. But moving on to now, I mean, it's ran like, it looks like we're a pro team out there, because we're making sure we're doing what we got to do, and we know, if we put this work in now and get better, it'll make camp that much easier, which when we go into the season, it'll make it that much better for us when we get to SEC play and things like that.
Let's go here, right side in the back corner.
John Wilkerson, WNML in Knoxville. What was it like to play your first year on the field at Kentucky and help the Wildcats get to a bowl game?
It was awesome. I think it was very rewarding. It was something that I wanted to do as a player. When I transferred in, I wanted to come in and have an impact on the team. And I think coming in so far, I think I've definitely had an impact. With my teammates and in the community. So it's definitely been awesome. I've done different programs. I'm doing a mentoring program with a program called Amachi. I'm doing a lot more things, for community service-wise, and then on the field, we're just getting so much better. We can work out longer. We can, do things that when I first came in, we weren't really able to do because we didn't have the depth, or we didn't have the facilities, and now we have everything that we need, and to be the best, you have to have the best, and I think we have the very best, and we're going to strive to be the best that we can.
Let's go here to the left side in the second row.
Same question a little bit that I asked Steven was, as a major conference transfer from Nebraska to Kentucky, can you kind of walk us through maybe what you had to change on the field, and maybe even personally about yourself during that transition and being at Kentucky now? Right.
Definitely, when I first transferred, it was I wasn't a leader at Nebraska. I mean, I think I was with my circle of friends, or guys that I was in my class with, but I wasn't one of those guys, who was seeing a lot of playing time. I transferred to Kentucky. I had to sit out. And so I'm trying to tell guys, hey man, we got to go harder. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to get to class, get to your tutor. things like that. And guys are looking at me like, you haven't done anything here. You haven't played a down yet. You're not playing this season, so you don't have any right to tell me anything. But, some guys started to buy into that and, really formed a group of guys that really had my back and I had their back, and we helped change the program. And I think now, looking at this year and after last season, it really speaks for itself how much the culture has changed. And, Coach Stoops and his staff have done a tremendous job at developing not only us as players but as young men. And, there's a lot more that, guys have opportunities to do outside of football rather than, just, if it's just football or being a coach. Guys can go be engineers and teachers and, things like that. So I think he's definitely grooming us into being great young men.
Let's go right side here in the back row.
Hey, Courtney, having played at Nebraska and played at Kentucky, compare playing in an away stadium in the SEC and in the Big Ten. And second part, what's your favorite stadium you've played in outside of a home stadium?
Okay, so I would say going and playing in an away game definitely it's tough because you're going to a stadium that's not yours. You won't see many of your fans there. You see a lot of different fans, and I would say Florida was one of the places that was tough. We didn't have a really good game against them, but those fans were on us like the whole game, and they're really close. Like that's the closest I've ever seen fans to anybody. I don't know if that even should be allowed, but it was crazy. So Florida definitely they have a great fan base, and they're definitely behind them. And I would say the best place I've ever played outside of our stadium was when I played at Nebraska. It was all about Nebraska there. It was like a pro team, honestly. So I think that was the best place. But in the SEC, I would say Florida.
Let's go right side, third row.
Hey, Courtney, Matt Smith, Southern Pigskin. You guys checked a lot of boxes last year, ended the bowl streak, ended the Louisville streak. Is ending the Florida, Georgia, Tennessee hurdle, is that next? Now, I know Southern Miss is your first game. That's all you guys want to talk about, but right. Coach Stoops isn't listening right now. So is that, can you have a successful season without beating at least one of those three this year?
I think we can definitely have a successful season, and my goal is to beat all three of them, and I think we can. I think we definitely have, the guys. We definitely have the coaches. We're a lot smarter. We're a lot faster, bigger. We can definitely do it, and I think it's just going to come down to us. It's going to be us doing what we have to do as players, worrying about the people in our facility, not worrying about the outside talk, just doing what we have to do and being who we are and fighting for Kentucky.
Left side here, second row.
I asked Mike Edwards this, and when your career is done and you look back on last season, who's going to be the one player or two that you're going to brag about to friends like, yeah, you know what, I played against that guy?
To a teammate or just opposition? So a teammate, I'm going to definitely go with Jordan Jones. I could go with Mike. Mike's a phenomenal player, but Jordan is just something I've never seen in a guy, and I've played around some great players, and his athleticism for his size is just unbelievable. He's unbelievably strong. His instincts. He gets to the ball. He gets guys off of him, and he just makes plays. And he loves football. He just flies around. And he has a motor that I've never seen before. My little sister's 6 years old, and I think she has a lot of energy. Jordan has a ton of energy, and he's gonna have a great season this year, and I can't wait to see it. And then I guess a player that I played against, I think I don't know. There's so many great players in our league. Alabama's offensive line was unbelievable, but I think quarterback Jalen Hurts is going to be something definitely special. He's a great player. Last year coming in, hadn't played at all. We all seen how he carried, the team. Unfortunately, they lost in the national championship, but they were there, and they continue to just, build these guys. And I think Jalen will definitely do a great job in years to come.